Luo Feng extended his hand, and strands of sector beast power appeared, quickly combining to form a seemingly perfect structure. Morosa looked on in surprise. His master's divine power could also transform into the power of sector beast, which Morosa had long known. But this body refinement breakthrough had only been achieved by him after a long period in the primal chaos realm. It looks similar on the surface, but there are some differences inside, Morosa observed carefully and said, "A miss is as good as a mile." Luo Feng nodded. "My realm in the destruction of the origin is not as good as yours. I can't mimic it perfectly. Only by fully understanding the composition of a substance can one transform perfectly. Otherwise, one could only disguise its surface at most." For example, he had seen a godly king up close. The surface disguise could be very similar, but the internal differences were vast. Moreover, it lacks realm. The realm within your body is the core of the body refining method. It's the key to why your body is so strong. Luo Feng shook his head, knowing that no matter how he transformed, he could not produce a realm. Luo Feng looked at the structure of sector beast power floating above his palm. It seems perfect, but in reality, it is unstable and could collapse at any moment. Morosa watched from the side. He couldn't assist his master. His growth came from eating and drinking naturally. The thought of researching secret techniques gave him a headache. "You can go about your business." Luo Feng waved his hand, sending Morosa away. Luo Feng was alone, silently observing the floating structure of sector beast power before him. It was so beautiful. The body refining method that Morosa, a darling of destruction origin, had mastered, was perhaps considered among the very top of its class across the entire land of origin. Buzz. Luo Feng extended his hand to disperse the sector beast power structure and began to form it with divine power. The divine power formed an identical structure, but it seemed so strange. "No, this is completely wrong." Luo Feng shook his head. Alone inside Star Tower, Luo Feng attempted to modify, simplify, and integrate his ideas, using all means, but failing to come up with a stable divine power structure. With insufficient realm, relying on mere imitation to research a set of body refining methods is indeed wishful thinking, Luo Feng said with a light smile, dispersing the dozen or so divine power structures in the air. "I will need to accumulate enough realm and then explore slowly." Luo Feng looked toward the distance. In the corner of this layer of space, a small space was sealed off, where 15 primal chaos layer creatures were flying joyfully. As long as they were fed a sufficient amount of primal chaos crystals, they lived carefree lives. In the past, Luo Feng often observed primal chaos layer creatures, but after breaking through to the primal chaos realm, their value to him had diminished. A thought struck Luo Feng. Primal chaos layer creatures, their structure is incredibly simple, and I have studied them many times. Luo Feng pondered. I can try to transform. The formless and intangible ability of the perfect life form had failed on Morosa's body refining method, but now Luo Feng had his sights set on the primal chaos layer creatures. Transform. Luo Feng pointed his finger. Immediately a silver droplet formed. This silver droplet was incredibly stable. I understand the primal chaos laws. This silver droplet creature is the one I have studied the most, and it is originally formed from droplets of silver. Luo Feng revealed a smile. Primal chaos divine power surged, and one after another silver droplet formed. A total of 120 silver droplets floated. Luo Feng smiled as he watched, but gradually his brows furrowed. This is wrong. They can't fuse. Luo Feng tried to touch the silver droplets together, but they still couldn't merge. A real silver droplet creature would actively fuse together, and its power would undergo a qualitative change. But why can't these silver droplets I transformed merge? Why can't they merge? Luo Feng pondered. Could it be that I haven't thoroughly researched their essence? To fully understand is to perfectly transform. In the epoch of the primordial cosmos, he had confirmed his capability of formless and intangible. This silver droplet has a relatively simple structure. What else have I not seen through? Luo Feng beckoned with his hand and immediately captured the longest silver-like creature formed from 1091 silver droplets. In front of Luo Feng, now in the primal chaos realm, this silver-like creature had no ability to resist. It was rapidly split into a silver droplet. Push! With a gentle swipe of Luo Feng's finger, the silver droplet was sliced apart, dissolving into silver mist and visualized primal chaos laws. This silver mist is just a condensed form of chaotic power. This visualization of the primal chaos laws, Luo Feng's expression changed as he immediately noticed the issue. Previously, as an eternal true God, he determined at a glance that this was a visualization of the primal chaos laws. But now, having grasped the primal chaos laws and become part of the primal chaos realm, he recognized the problem. This is indeed a visualization of the primal chaos laws, containing the characteristics of primal chaos gold and water of primal chaos. But it has a hint of spirituality, Luo Feng realized. He had simply copied the primal chaos laws visualization he understood directly. Yet in reality, the primal chaos laws visualization within the silver droplets seemed alive, as if it had come alive, possessing spirituality of primal chaos laws. Luo Feng's complexion changed slightly. In the land of origin region of the primordial cosmos, an incarnation of Luo Feng's divine power headed straight for the primordial cosmos. The primordial cosmos, at the source ground, that core location, Great Tao of Life Origin. Luo Feng had come here again, looking up at the towering Great Tao of Life Origin. It had different aspects, and from different perspectives, it appeared differently. After grasping the primal chaos laws, Luo Feng felt that understanding the Great Tao of Life Origin seemed not so difficult anymore. My previous realm was too weak. I actually thought that silver droplet creatures contained only the complete primal chaos laws. I was wrong, so wrong. Luo Feng, facing the vast Great Tao of Life Origin, knew he was mistaken. This endless twisting dragon before him could be viewed from various angles, and one could also see a winding dragon bone connecting the whole body. The information contained within this winding dragon bone allowed Luo Feng to vaguely see flowers blooming, fuzzy creatures breaking out of their shells. An ancient tree that had lived for countless years, one day, suddenly cultivated spirituality. It came alive and became a plant life. The spirit of life is the starting point of life. A touch of the spirit of life can even bring a stubborn stone to life, turning it into a rock-type creature. Silver droplet creatures don't have a clear consciousness. They can't think or communicate. But the essence of their life is very high, Luo Feng pondered. Even the most basic element of their life structure, a silver droplet, contains life spirituality. Like humans, like many animals, in their blood, bones, muscles, and so on, there is no spirituality. Only when a soul merges with the body does it count as a life. Without a soul, it is just a walking corpse. Even true gods of void space, eternal true gods. Each one is like this. The soul is fundamental. Some plant life cultivates a bit of spirituality from the whole plant, whereas silver droplet creatures, each silver droplet of theirs contains life spirituality. This makes the life that finally comes together extraordinarily powerful. I originally thought its core was just the complete primal chaos laws. Now I know, its core is the primal chaos laws merged with the spirit of life. It's just that the spirituality isn't particularly high. Luo Feng looked at the dragon bone of this endless coiling dragon before him. Facing the origin of life, Luo Feng understood how terrifying it could be if the life spirituality were strong enough. A touch of spirituality can animate a stubborn rock. If every drop of divine power contains spirituality, how terrifying would that be? If it harbors strong spirituality, each portion of divine power would seem to come alive, fundamentally transforming. The strength, speed, and resilience of the godly body could soar rapidly. The godly body itself would become immensely powerful, virtually unshakable, Luo Feng thought, and, if willing, each part of my divine power could develop its own consciousness, capable of giving birth to a new life. A single drop of my blood, guided by my will, can form another strong and vivid life. These vibrant lives are limited by the amount of power I bestow upon them. The more divine power I bestow, the larger this independent life becomes. If I were a godly king, I could differentiate my flesh and blood, and perhaps create thousands of primal chaos realm incarnations. Luo Feng mused, the flesh and blood I can divide are parts of my godly body. If I divide it out, I too would become weakened. The pathway of life spirituality, the so-called animating life, creating powerful incarnations are merely auxiliary uses. For those who have become godly kings along this path, their godly bodies are the most terrifying. Their godly bodies are an upgraded version of the silver droplet creatures. Parts of their flesh and blood can be condensed to form weapons. Destroying them is as difficult as destroying Emperor-level secret treasure weapons. With my humble realm, I can only glimpse a part of the path of life spirituality. Luo Feng looked at the endless coiling dragon before him. Perhaps there are other terrifying aspects. That ancestral god of the snow realm had mastered one of the branches of the great Tao of life origin. Its ability to preserve life reached an unbelievable extent. Despite immense sins, it still lives to this day. The great Tao of life origin has many branches. The more branches you master, the more terrifying you become. If you can merge many branches into one, mastering the complete great Tao of life origin, Luo Feng gazed up at the towering endless coiling dragon. An existence that has mastered the full great Tao of life origin is just like this endless, winding dragon. Such a being is the embodiment of the concept of life itself, life spirituality. Luo Feng sat cross-legged, carefully observing the vast origin great Tao, studying the dragon bone of the endless coiled dragon. Luo Feng knew his realm was shallow. He was only researching some information similar to the spirituality of the silver droplet creatures. When he could perfectly change the silver droplet creatures, it would represent a small achievement on the path of life spirituality. Days went by. In Luo Feng's eyes, there was only the dragon bone containing endless spiritual information, continuously absorbing the information. The more he understood, the deeper his understanding of the spirituality of the silver droplet creatures. Only time would tell how long it had been. I should be able to change it now, Luo Feng, with a certain level of understanding of life spirituality, naturally gained confidence.